Hi, my name is Brad Adams and I'm the Missouri ASA State Director. And we've got a lot of new clubs in the state that have been asking different questions about qualifiers. So I'm going to make a how-to guide on what you need to do to set up and run an ASA qualifier. And that's not just for Missouri, but it'll work in any state. All right, we're about a week out from our first qualifier, and it just happens to be here at Yard Short 3D Archery Range in Patton, Missouri, which is my club. It's the first one of the season for Missouri, and then we get full swing. I think we're up to 29 qualifiers this year, which is the most we've ever had. So we're just going to start out and go through the different stakes that you need to set just for range setup. Nationwide, all the ASA qualifiers are now 20 targets. If you want to set up more targets than 20 because you have a lot of people that come shoot for fun or travel 2 hours and don't want to shoot only 20 targets, you can still set your range the way you always do. If you always have 30 targets, go ahead and set 30. But for ASA, we are only going to count the first 20 for the qualifier. So you'll just give them a scorecard, you'll count the first 20, and then you'll have the rest of it can just be for fun. But 20 targets, that's last year they put that in, and I think it was a pretty big overall success on that. We're here at target number 9, and we're just going to go over the stakes and what color ASA stakes are. We've always kind of had our stakes different. We're first time we're actually going to get up to date on the colors that ASA recommends for your stakes. So we're going to start out. Your 50-yard stake is black. Your 50-yard stake is optional. ASA does not require a 50-yard stake at qualifiers, but we like to set it because we have a lot of guys that shoot K50. We have a lot of guys shoot semi-pro, and a few guys that shoot the pro classes that come and they want a 50-yard stake. So we set a 50-yard stake. Okay, and so it's going to be a black stake. Our 45-yard stake. Okay, this one is required. You got to have a 45-yard stake at an ASA qualifier, and the 45-yard stake is a white stake. Moving on up, your 40-yard stake, which is going to be K40, men's open 40, some other classes, women's K40. Red, 40-yard maximum, okay? 40-yard max on the red stake. All right, we moved on up. Now we are at our 30-yard stake, which is women's hunter, youth open, boys, girls. They're going to shoot from a 30-yard stake, and that is blue. Moving up one closer, we got our 25-yard stake. That's a yellow stake. That's going to be a few classes. That's Eagle Open boys, Eagle Open girls. They'll both shoot from a 25-yard yellow stake. Our 20-yard stake is green. That is going to be youth pins. Or not youth pins, Eagle Pins boys, Eagle Pins girls. They're going to shoot from the green stake, 20-yard maximum. Then our orange flag we got here, our orange stake is Junior Eagle. That's going to be your 8 and under class. They're going to shoot from the 15-yard stake. One thing I would recommend, I've had 2 boys that shoot that have shot Junior Eagle. They're both older now. My youngest last year was his last year in Junior Eagle. When you're setting this, make sure that you keep it within the 15 yards. It's easy just to go up there and poke a stake in the ground and think, oh, that looks short. And then it's 17, 18 yards, which my son, he didn't really care. He liked to shoot far and he had a lot of success in Junior Eagle, but you are going to have 5, 6-year-old kids that have trouble getting their arrow to the target, that extra few yards is going to make a difference. So make sure you're not setting that one out too tough on the kids and out past their max, because that's a big deal. I know when we're out on the ASA range and those kids would click and it would say 16 yards, I mean, they thought it was the end of the world. So try to make sure you get all your yards is really, you should double check and make sure with a rangefinder that they're not over the maximum. Other important thing in regards to stake colors, you're gonna have people show up to your range that maybe shoot at a different club that has their stake colors are different, maybe just one stake is different. You don't want somebody to sign up, shoot a qualifier, and shoot from the wrong stake and then realize it after it's over. So to create or to limit confusion, we always put what stake color, when they tell us what class they sign up for, we put that stake color on their scorecard. It'll help limit confusion and less headaches for the club. Here's a picture of what our scorecards look like. Whenever you're setting up like we are today for an ASA qualifier, I get a lot of questions of how hard or how easy, how you should set your range. The answer, there's a lot of factors in that. Some of it's going to be lay of the land. You know, some places you can't stretch a 50-yard lane, but work with the land you got. And I would say, you know, how we set ours, I'm just going to use a 50-yard stake as the example. 50-yard stake, I'm probably going to set, out of 20 targets, I'm probably going to set 5 or 6 of them out 44, 45 or farther. I'm probably going to have 4 or 5 that are 36 or under, and the rest of them are going to be, you know, the other 7 targets are probably going to be in the 36 to 44 range. I feel like a variety is a good range. You don't want everything to be a bomb where they come, you know, and they're trying to get shooter of the year points and everything is at 48 yards to 50. I don't, you know, I feel like shooters don't love that. They, you know, they like to be in and out, you know. You want to have some that they walk up to and it's like, man, that's a bomb, you know. And then you want them to walk up to some and think, oh, I need to hit this. And you know you're not going to hit every single one of them close ones. So, you know, give them a few that are up there, but you also don't want to set a 50-yard stake that feels like a K40 range. Or you don't want to set a 40-yard stake that feels like it's a, you know, an Eagle Open range. You know, I think variety is something that archers love, and I would highly recommend that. Now I'm going to show you just a couple examples of some of our targets and some of the different varieties. I'm going to show you one of the easiest and one of the hardest targets that we set for the qualifier this week or next weekend. We're going to start with one of our easiest ones. We got target 5, which is an antelope right here. You see, I'm not going to tell you how far it is because we got people that'll be shooting unknown next weekend, but it's not far. I would say we probably have, here, get it from the stick. We probably have, I'd say 3, maybe 4 that are of this difficulty level. You know, it's not an automatic give me, but it is not, it's one you should get. You're going to walk up here and you're going to think, I need to hit this one. Now I'm going to show you one of our tougher targets. It is a Black Panther. I'm not going to tell you the distance once again because nobody's shot this range yet, but it's over here. You've got some terrain to work with. It's across the dip, downhill, and it is a poke. It is out there, and it's one that you could definitely misjudge or definitely give some points away if you're not careful. So that's one of our easier and one of our harder targets. All right, now you've got your qualifier set up. Day of shoot, there's some important things you'll need to know. Couple things paperwork wise that you're gonna need. I've got them here in my hand, but I'm also gonna blow them up on here so you can see them. Important thing for your insurance is your master tournament release liability form. It's got that on the front, and it's got the sheet where they can print their name, sign it, and sign off on it, and you're gonna be good to go for your liability. Then you also have your individual entry form. Okay, that's the shooters are going to fill that out. Then they're either going to put their entry fee, they're going to pay you, they're going to sign off on it. They have their address on there. So if you need to ship payouts to them, you're good to go. All right, so after your shoot, you've got everything done. 'Few important things. Payouts. You can mail them. If they're people you know that are going to be at your shoot in 3 weeks, you can give it to them then. You know, however you want to do it, just make sure that they get their payouts if they finished in a spot that gets paid out. After your shoot, there's some important paperwork you're going to need to send to the ASA office, and some things you're going to need to send to your director, whether that be me or if you're in another state, whoever your director may be. Your individual class competition list. You're going to put, you can skip a line, so you can do multiple, and I'm going to have it blown up, but you can do multiple classes on one page. But you need to put them in order of how they finished, you know, not where they got to sift through them and everything. But you are going to send your results in order to your director. If you're in Missouri, that'd be me. Or if you're in Mississippi, you can send them to Ken, whatever state you happen to be. And you're also going to send those to Jenny at the ASA office. Okay. The other form, fee distribution sheet, that, and I'll have it blown up, but that is going to be, you're going to list by class how many shooters you had, total up your columns, and that's going to be the money that you owe to ASA for hosting your qualifier. And you can pay that via check, or you can call the office and pay with card, but you're going to send that form also to Jenny at the ASA office and get that taken care of. Jenny likes those come in a timely fashion, so the quicker you can get that done, the better. Okay, the other form, let's say you had somebody at your club that helps out, didn't get to shoot, you know, maybe they were injured most of the season and they've been around your club and they've pitched in and helped take registration. For one reason or another, they didn't get to shoot an ASA qualifier. If you have, at a qualifier, you have 1 to 25 shooters, you get 1 at-large berth that you can grant, somebody can shoot the state tournament. If you have 26 to 50, you get 2, 51 to 75, you get 3, over 76 shooters, you get 4 at-large berths. That can be, you don't have to use those, but if you want to give those out to somebody that you think deserves it, you can fill out that form and they can be qualified to shoot the state tournament. One big rule change for 2025 that is going into effect is to shoot an ASA qualifier in any state this year, you need to be an ASA member before you shoot. So if you're a club and you're running a qualifier, you might not be able to check. You know, we're going to have to take a lot of people's word for it if you're in an area that you can't just get on the internet and look up if somebody's a member. If one slips through the cracks, I mean, it happens, the office will find that, but most archers are pretty honest people. Just ask them if they're a qualifier, or ask them if they're a member. If they're not, they need to pay their membership then, or they'll just have to shoot for fun. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this will help everyone trying to set up qualifiers and answering a lot of questions. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to your state director. If you're in Missouri, you can reach out to me. You can find my information on the ASA Archery website. And if you don't mind, give this channel a like and subscribe. This is my son's YouTube channel. He does all the editing. He might have some videos that you don't care about, you know, in the wintertime. He does a lot of basketball stuff, but through the summer, he'll be doing a lot of archery, a lot of fishing, and he does all this editing and does a great job, and he'd appreciate subscribe. Thank you, and have a great season.